What is up, guys? So Sports back in with another video, and in today's video I'm going to be giving my predictions on what I think the NBA playoffs will look like if the playoffs were to start today. Now, of course, we're uncertain on if the playoffs will start because of the whole coronavirus, the pandemic that we're in. Hopefully this season is finished out though, because I feel like we're just too far into it for it to be canceled. I feel like if we were like 20 games in or something like that, yeah, or if it was pre All-Star break, I'd have no problem. But I mean, when the season was canceled, we were a month away from the playoffs. I just think you just can't let the season go to waste. But here's the playoff brackets as of what's today? As of April 14th, 2020. So you got the first seeded Lakers versus the 8th seeded Grizzlies. You got the second seeded Nuggets right here. Okay, I'm sorry. You got the second seeded Clippers versus the 7th seeded Dallas Mavericks. Third seeded Nuggets versus the 6th seeded Rockets. You got the 4th seeded Utah Jazz versus the 5th seeded Oklahoma City Thunder. On the Eastern Conference, you got the 1st seeded Milwaukee Bucks against the 8th seeded Orlando Magic. You got the 2nd seeded Toronto Raptors versus the 7th seeded Brooklyn Nets. You got the 3rd seeded Boston Celtics versus the 6th seeded Philadelphia 76ers. You got the 4th seeded Miami Heat versus the 5th seeded Indiana Pacers. All right, so with that being said, let's get right into it. I'm gonna start off with the Eastern Conference. I'm just gonna get the easy series out the way. Obviously, I think the Bucks are gonna sweep. I mean, come on, the Orlando Magic, they stand no chance. I think the Lakers are gonna sweep too. A young Grizzlies team versus an experienced Lakers team with a motivated LeBron James. I just don't see this being any type of close. And I'm gonna say this one too. Yeah, I know, it's crazy seeing the Philadelphia 76ers get swept. Maybe not swept, but I definitely see them losing in 5 games. I just think they have no chemistry. The team fit is poor. I just don't see it. And honestly, this offseason, they're going to have a lot of questions to answer. We could be in for a big blockbuster trade. I don't know. What they really have to do is just add shooting. That's really what they have to do. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. They have to add shooting and honestly trade Al Horford. And I know a team, that has a nice stretch floor, that's a champion, multi-time All-Star, All-NBA team who you can trade Al Horford alongside a Matisse Thybulle or alongside that 22nd overall pick that you got there, or however, I think it's in the early 20s for that player. If you're wondering who that is, yo, Philly, Elton Brand, you want to make a call to Kobe Altman? Yo, Kevin Love for Al Horford and Matisse Thybulle. I think, let me stop. But those are the series that I think. Oh, and this one too. I'm sorry. Yeah, the Raptors are on the sweep. If they had Kyrie, I think this series could get interesting, but they don't. Kevin Durant will not come back this year. I don't want to say it because if the season starts in September, maybe. But honestly, I just don't see it. Honestly, I don't think he'll come back. This will be over in 4, maybe 5 if Karis LeVert has another Boston Celtics-esque game again. But those are the series that I think are going to be easy. Now let's discuss the other series. So let's start off with the Western Conference, whatever. Utah Jazz versus Oklahoma City Thunder. This is going to be an interesting one. For the simple fact that these two teams have played before. And I think the last time they played... Okay, I'm sorry. CP3 and the Jazz have played before. And the last time they played, it was a nice series. You had like a Joe Johnson game winner. This was the Utah Jazz in 2017 when it had George Hill averaging 20. Joe Johnson, Joe Johnson was on the team. He had that game winner, I think was game 1 or was it game 6 or game 2? One or the other. But that Utah Jazz team, I think, was very underrated. They won 50 games, 4th seeded in the Western Conference. That team was nice. It was 2017. That team was nice. But all in all, who wins? Who comes out? Now, you're looking at the Utah Jazz, and Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell's relationship is in question. You've had reports that, the relationship cannot be fixed. And they've had a pretty up and down season. They've lost to some teams that they shouldn't have lost to. It depends on what Utah Jazz team we're going to get, honestly, and it depends on Mike Conley. Is he going to step up, or is he going to play how he's been playing for most of the season? They just have too many question marks, and honestly, I'm more likely to lean towards the Oklahoma City Thunder. Now, a big factor is home court advantage, and these two teams are 2 games apart. I think the Thunder are, what are they? I think they're 39 and 26, and I think the Utah Jazz are 41 and 24. So a couple of games could be the difference. We don't know if we're going to go straight into the playoffs or they're going to play a couple games. We don't know all of that. But just for the sake of this video, I'm going to pick the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think you have Chris Paul with that trio of guards, Chris Paul, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and Dennis Schroeder all playing exceptionally well. together. The Thunder, I believe, are the best fourth quarter team. Chris Paul's having a bounce back year, all-star level year. You have Shai's playing MIP level year. Dennis Schroeder's looking like the sixth man of the year. They just have a lot going for them. They're hot. A team that nobody really expected to be this good. Potentially could win 50 games this year. I think they probably will win 50 games. That's a great side, but yeah, that's what I feel for them. Next series, Nuggets versus Rockets. Now, this is going to be another interesting series, and I think this is probably going to be the best series to watch, in my opinion, considering that you have the young, I guess you want to say, Denver Nuggets, who are always a pretty good regular season team, but in the playoffs, they do kind of, I mean, last year they were one game away from making the Western Conference Finals, so I don't even want to say that, but do they have some redemption in store for them? I don't really know. And then you have the Rockets, who their team construction is questionable. They don't have a center. They're starting 5 guys, I believe, under the height of 6'6" or 6'7" or something like that. I think their starting center is a 6'5" PJ Tucker. Do you trust them against a Nikola Jokic? I don't know. And also, it depends on what kind of Nikola Jokic are we going to get. Are we going to get an aggressive Nikola Jokic, or are we going to get a timid Nikola Jokic? And honestly, it doesn't even matter, to my opinion, because a lot of people talk about how Nikola Jokic may be timid, how, he's not likely to do, you want to see him do more, but maybe just some of those players just don't have that in them. And I think Nikola Jokic is one of those guys. Last year in the playoffs, he was actually really good, and I could see him be great again. But honestly, I think it's tough, man. This series is going to go to 7 games, I believe, because it also, with the Rockets, what kind of Rockets team are we going to get? Are we going to get a Russell Westbrook and James Harden that are playing great since the beginning of the year? Or are we going to get normal playoff James Harden and normal playoff Russell Westbrook, where they do have some duds? Not even James Harden, really, because James Harden actually is a pretty good player performer, but more Russell Westbrook, who just tends to take a lot of dumb shots when he doesn't need to. And yeah, it just depends what we're going to get, but I think this year is a new year for the Rockets, and honestly, I think for the Nuggets, they just have too much, the Rockets, just have too much star power for them to match. I have them winning this game, but in a hard-fought series, I think this series is going to go far. And lastly, for the Western Conference, we got the Clippers versus the Mavericks. I think the Clippers win this one in probably 6. The Mavericks, Luka Doncic has been exceptional. Kristaps Porzingis has been playing well over his last 10 or so games. All in all, this team gels well together, but I think the Clippers are just going to have too much star power for them to match. I mean, you got Paul George, and you got Kawhi Leonard, you got Montrezl Harrell, who's a great energy guy off the bench. Lou Will, who's another great off the bench guy. That's their kind of core 4, I guess, of scorers. And then, I mean, you look at the Mavericks, they have Luka Doncic and they have Kristaps, but who else is going to step up behind them? You do have Tim Hardaway Jr., who he's been playing really, really, really well this year, but what kind of Tim Hardaway Jr. are we going to see in the playoffs? I don't know if he's ever been in the playoffs. Maybe once with the Atlanta Hawks, I'm not too sure, but he's a shot checker, so if he's not hot that night, things could get bad. And then besides those 2 or those 3 even, who else do they really have that can, because in the playoffs is different from a regular season. I think people have to realize that. If you haven't realized that now, I don't know what to tell you. People shorten their rotation. We see the teams with the most star power usually win. You have some instances like 2011, like 2004, where the team with the better players didn't win. But all in all, I mean, normally the team with the most star power wins. Either way, I think this is going to be another good series, probably 5 or 6, but I got the Clippers winning. Let's just say in 6. Moving on to the Western Conference, Heat versus Pacers. I'm going to go with the Miami Heat simply because the Pacers have been pretty bad over the last couple of weeks since Victor Oladipo has come back, honestly. And I think we're in one of those situations similar to Gordon Hayward, where Victor Oladipo is just really not all the way healed. We saw how Gordon Hayward was when he first came back last season. He was not good at all. And now this year he's been playing very well. He's averaging around 19 points, I believe. He was super efficient to start the year until he had that hand injury. I think his efficiency has dipped down just a bit, but all in all, he's had a pretty good season. I think next year for Victor Oladipo, we could see, I just think, he's coming back finally a full year with rehab in the offseason. In a contract year, he's going to be looking for a mega extension. We could see him potentially make an All-NBA team, maybe All-NBA second. Do I say MVP maybe? I think I might make a video on that. That's a nice video idea, but this year I just don't know. They do have some nice acquisitions. You have Malcolm Brogdon coming in. He's been great. Domantas Sabonis has really stepped up this year. He's an all-star this year, and your bench is very good. This team is nice, but I just feel like with Victor Oladipo coming back from injury, he's just not fully healed. I don't know. I don't know if I can. And he's their star, I guess. I don't know if I can trust him just yet, but I'm really intrigued to make a Victor Oladipo video. And that's a thought that just came into my head, and I think that's something that could definitely happen. I'll do something on that. But I think the Heat have been great this year. 2 All-Stars in Bam Adebayo and Jimmy Butler. Their chemistry, their culture, everything is just gelled amazingly. At least to start the year. Over the past couple of weeks, they have slowed down a bit, but all in all, they've been pretty good. I think they win this one in probably 6 or 7. And yeah, that's gonna do it for the first round. We're on to the second round, starting with the Eastern Conference since we're already here. The Bucks versus the Miami Heat. Now, I think a lot of people are thinking the Heat could probably, stay with the Bucks because we saw what Bam Adebayo was able to do to Giannis at game. I think like a month and maybe like 5 or 6 weeks ago when Bam Adebayo was able to hold Giannis to a not so great night. And I think people are taking that and holding that very high. I think that's just a one-time thing, honestly. Bam can definitely hold his own against Giannis, but I think the Bucks are just too good, and I think I think the Bucks will beat them. I just think the Heat, for them personally, it's not. They just slowed down, and it's kind of concerning how much they've slowed down since their hot start. But I think the Bucks are just going to be too much for them to match. And for the Bucks, also, I didn't even really talk about the Bucks. Another key for them to go far is how is Chris Middleton going to play? I think Giannis is going to have a great postseason, but Chris Middleton as a second option, you're going to need to step up. I'm talking averaging 23, 24, maybe even 25 points per game if you want to even think about winning a championship, this season. But all in all, I think the Bucks are going to win. Moving on to another great series we're going to watch. Boston Celtics versus Toronto Raptors. Man, this is going to be a juggernaut series. And honestly, I think it's going to come down to the team who has the more clutch players. Now, the Raptors this time, they don't have Kawhi Leonard. He's not there to save the day with his heroics once again. But, guys, it's going to be tough. This is a tough series right here. I think it could literally go either way. And I think the series will probably go in 7 unless some unforeseen injury happens. Hope not, of course. I'm going to go with the Celtics, man. I think Jason Tatum has just been playing amazing. You have Jaylen Brown, you have Gordon Hayward, and Kemba Walker should be healed up by his injury by the time the playoffs roll around, and he's a good playoff performer. I like it. I think this goes to 7. I think it's going to be a very great series. But moving on to the Western Conference, we have the Lakers versus the Oklahoma City Thunder. I have the Lakers winning in probably 5 or 6-ish. Honestly, I think, the Lakers are just going to be too much for the Thunder to handle, and that's simply it, honestly. Moving on to Rockets Clippers. I have the Clippers winning. Once again, it's going to be a matter of what type of Russell Westbrook are we going to. It's a matter of that for both teams because Paul George has been kind of bad in the playoffs over the past 2 seasons that he's been with OKC. Or has it been 3 seasons? One or the other. I think it's been 3 seasons, actually. Or has it been 2? I think it's been 2. I'm not sure, but he has not played well at all, so he's going to need to step it up. And I don't know if he will this year, honestly, because he does have that shoulder injury, He has missed a couple games. A thing with the Clippers, they're going to make it this far, but honestly, their chemistry is kind of iffy too, so that could definitely be a problem. I don't know. But, yeah, that's who I have winning for that. I think, with the Rockets and their Russell Westbrook, I just need you to do something, man. I just need you to come back, silence the critics, and have a great playoff series. I'm hoping, man. I'm hoping for the sake of you and for the sake of entertainment and for the sake of me, too, because I really want to watch good basketball this playoffs. Because my team, the Cleveland Cavaliers, they are not so good. But moving on now, the conference finals. Bucks, Celtics, Lakers, Clippers. Let's start in the Eastern Conference. I think the Bucks. This is a tough series. This series is going to be amazing. I'm thinking another one that's going to go 7. But this whole series just rides on how well Jason Tatum plays. If he's playing how he's been playing over the last month or so, yeah, I think the Celtics can definitely go, this far. But if he's playing how he was playing in the first half of the season, where he was kind of mid, I don't know. But I have the Bucks winning. Honestly, Giannis, I think he's on a mission. You have to make the finals this year, Giannis, to put yourself, to show the world that you're that player, to show the world that you're that guy. You have the MVPs. You need the playoff success now. You have to show the world that you're that guy. Honestly, and I think he will. I think this is the year that we'll finally see Giannis just go crazy. Absolutely ballistic. But yeah, I think another series that goes 6, probably 7. I don't know. It's going to be another great series to watch. You have Jason Tatum versus Giannis. You have Chris Middleton versus Jaylen Brown, I guess. I don't know. It'll be a good series though. I really like it. 2 teams with 2 All-Stars. It'd be a nice one to watch. Now, Western Conference, a lot harder. Clippers, Lakers. Ultimately, I believe the deciding factor will be LeBron James. Is LeBron James going to be hungry? And I think he will. I mean, with everything, I don't really want to get into specifics because, I don't want to I just don't. But LeBron is going to be on a mission this year. Just know that. And honestly, I think that's the reason why I'm going to pick him. If you look back just 2 years ago when oh my God, LeBron went ballistic in that 2018 playoffs, I think we could potentially see something similar to that this year. Anthony Davis also is a good playoff performer too. And then you have the veterans that know what it takes to win a championship. JaVale McGee, Rajon Rondo, Danny Green, who else? Quinn Cook even could play some minutes for you. Dwight Howard, all those guys know what it takes to win. Maybe not Dwight Howard, he hasn't won a ring, but he's made the finals before. He's been to numerous playoffs. So yeah, honestly, I have them with a slight edge. I think maybe the thing that'll knock off the Clippers is not their inexperience, but their chemistry. It's just been last year. The reason why they were so good is their chemistry. This year it's been iffy. You had that article with the Athletic talking about how they aren't able to mesh well, how all the guys that have been there for a long time, like Pat Bev, like Montrezl Harrell, are kind of upset that two guys like Paul George and Kawhi Leonard just came in and just took over. I guess maybe that could be a problem heading to the playoffs, but all in all, this is what I think. I think my bracket is it's pretty good so far. Now here we are, NBA Finals, Bucks, Lakers, LeBron James versus Giannis Antetokounmpo. The matchup probably everybody wants to see. Who's gonna reign supreme? I have the Lakers winning in probably 6 games. I think the Lakers just have too much star power for the Bucks to contain. I mean, you talk about LeBron and Giannis. You can talk about that game on Christmas. I mean, that's cool, I guess, but the Lakers came back and they beat Giannis, and you see what happened. I mean, you can put AD on Giannis and he can kind of neutralize him a bit, and then you're gonna have to have other guys, step up like a Chris Middleton. But you see in that Lakers Bucks game, a month back or so, a month and a half back, he only had 12 points. He did not play well at all. And Chris Middleton, you're going to have to step up if the Bucks want to win a championship this year. Honestly, you're going to have to. You're that second option. You're having a historic season. He could become the 5th player, I believe, in NBA history to average 20 points on 50, 40, 90. But I believe he's like 49.9 right now, so that may not happen. But either way, he's going to have to step back. Eric Bledsoe, you've had 2 dud playoffs. You're going to have to step up also. They're just going to have a lot of guys step up. And will they? We don't know. We'll see. I think the Lakers, they have everything right in front of them. They're hot. They're the talk of the town. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, your 2 main guys. You have a nice supporting cast of guys who know how to win. I think when you put all that together, team chemistry, defense, shooting, I just think nobody's going to beat them, in my opinion, unless, some unforeseen injury happens, which, I mean, it could. I don't know. I'm not a fortune teller. That's the only way that I see them losing, really, to be honest. The Lakers really have no excuses, honestly. I'm going to be real with you. All these teams that they're facing, the Grizzlies, inexperienced. The Thunder, they just don't have the star power to match. And the Clippers, I mean, the Clippers could definitely beat them, but Clippers have dealt with some injuries too, chemistry issues that the Lakers just have not. But that's my playoff bracket. Tell me what you guys think. Tell me what things you guys would change or whatever. This video is running long enough, so I'm going to end it off here. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys made it to the end, I appreciate you guys so much. We're on the road to 60 subs. I didn't even shout out to Josh. Josh is the one that recommended this video to me. So if you guys want me to do any other videos, I'll be happy to. Yeah, please leave a like again, subscribe if you are new, and it's So Sports, and I'm out. Peace.